that translate into Merkaba? For those that may not know what a Merkaba is, it's an energy momentum, it's an energy potential, so it will bring us to an infinite potential. And so we're invoking the Merkaba. There's also a containment of light. And letting our hearts beat as oneness within this Merkaba, in this group energy. Letting this vast infinite light infuse through all of the earth as it spins at its core, as we spin as a group, the core, letting that light just permeate and infuse into all. And in particular places it may need to go, such as Syria. And so although there is a prediction for a World War III, which very much, if you follow the chess game, could start in Syria, and there could be various players like Iran and Israel and Russia and the United States. But we're just sending peace and love to all of these energies, these chess players. And as the Dalai Lama says, he will continue to come on this earth until all sentient beings are enlightened and no longer in a state of pain, suffering, or with emotional afflictions due to their mental and emotional bodies that cause pain bodies. So we're just infusing light to all of these energies here on Mother Earth. And the Christ is coming in, and I'm guided to share an experience where it was when I first started working with ley lines. They're like the horizontal and they're longitudes and latitudes of the Earth, and at different junctures with geological formations, they carry more energy. So they actually carry energy, they're not just lines, they carry energy. And I was taken down into the earth and was working with them, kind of more like with the earth beings, like Jagger and Bear and so on. And then when I came back up, Christ was there, and that was kind of a paradigm shift, because I was with also the ancestors, like the Native American Indians, that were guiding me through all this. And so, I was adjusting to the Christ and his energy, and he put a tear in my hand, and when I was holding the tear, it's very hard to hold because it was like this, in my third eye I could just see all the suffering on the planet, you know, with war and famine and, you know, murder and genocides, and it just was horrific, just holding this tear. Starvation and so on. So much pain and suffering. And I guess it was really hard to hold this tear. And so then he's saying, here, now take it into the river, put the tear into the river. So gladly I did that. And it's a very mystic experience where everything went into light. Like it was like the mist of Avalon. I mean, there was a mist coming up from the river and the whole land. And he just said everything transmutes into light of love. So we're just letting that energy as the Christ energy works through us to let everything transmute into light of love. Again, just working with the hearts of all of humanity, and the animals are asking for this energy as well, which gladly I'll do that. For me, particularly with the elephants, who some of them have been through a genocide. Recently, it was in the National Geographic where 300 were slaughtered, so we're just sending energy there. And again, to all of the environment and all of the animals and all of Mother Earth. That she is. And I guess as we started off with a conversation of Hitler, again it's that pain body, that twisted heart that can cause so much damage and so much horrific violence, and we're just sending all those that are in need of healing their hearts. Or can just be in pain and suffering. So as you saw me crying with my brother, he's just a really beautiful soul with a very beautiful heart, but you know, he was afflicted with addictions. He died of cancer, but you know, I mean, these addictions, I just saw him go through so much pain and suffering. And so, you know, sending light of love to all those that are afflicted with these conditions, you know, in the genes and the DNA. And so, you know, again, going into all the DNA and the 12-stranded DNA, you know, and the technologies that are in other stars to heal with the 12-stranded DNA, heal these genes that are manifested, such as in addictions. I'm just asking for light and love and the activation of the 12-strand DNA to assist with the healing of all of humanity. With Commander Ashtar, who's observing all of this, but works with some of these stars that already have these technologies, such as the Sirius and Arcturians, and just letting this all permeate, infuse, and activate. Saint Germain with the purple violet flame, with Christ, with the biggest energies, consciousness. The divine feminine as well that's coming through. It is more nurturing on this planet, with the mother love. And so there are many guides coming through with this, Kuan Yin and Tara and Mother Mary Magdalene, Mata Rita, Mata Mai. So there's a liberation of the hearts and a healing of the hearts, and a oneness of the universal heart, where there's synchronicity in our heartbeats with all the heartbeats, and one with Mother Earth, and healing all the hearts in oneness and love and light. So it is, so it is, so it is, and this meditation is in honor of my brother. He taught me a lot. As I held space for many hours, he went through a lot of pain, with his last breaths. And then again, that was transmuted into light of love, with the angels taking them, and with my mother taking the lead. I also honor them for their teachings, and this is an honor to my brother. And so it is, so it is, so it is. So it is.
Vision.
A little louder, please.
Okay, I had a vision at the end, just as she said, this is in honor of my brother. Before you said the word brother, this is in honor of. It was like one of the scenes in Austria when Maria comes across the Alps, and here come three children holding one of those very large crosses that's made out of silver, the way that would be in a processional.
Yes.
And so symbolically, I felt that to me, I interpreted that the soul of your brother saying that he's fine, he's happy.
That's great.
And he's so
That's great. Very good. Thank you for sharing that.
thank you.
Does anyone want to share anything?
I'd like to invite everyone to come to the UN International Day of Peace event on Saturday, September 21st, down on the west lawn of the Capitol. It's a annual event, and this year a group of different organizations have come together to celebrate it on the mall, and there will be the keynote speaker will be Barbara Marks Hubbard. Does that ring a bell?
Barbara Marks Hubbard,
Yeah.
correct, yes.
She couldn't come in person, so she will be doing it by Skype. There will be a oneness blessing given by Bhagwan, who is the founder of the Oneness University. And we are hoping that as many people such as yourselves can come, because we want to create that coherent energy to stimulate every peace effort that's going on. And the events are all over the United States and the world, but if you'd like to know more, it's free the whole day. I think it starts like at 10:30 and runs until 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and people were suggesting that if you come, bring a picnic or a blanket to sit on the ground or whatever, because I don't know about the food truck feeding situation on the mall. So that was a very good suggestion. And the Oneness Blessing Givers are all invited to come, because we're going to give Oneness Blessing for as many people as who would like to have it. So, and there's about, I think, 22 other organizations helping with putting this on, so we really
That's
want as
great.
many people as possible. We're trying to hold the space there in front of the Capitol, specifically for peace and this, of course, the situation in the Middle East.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great. And that's what Alice was saying is so important. Is
It's really crucial.
Exactly. Do you know when Barbara Marx Hubbard speaks?
I don't know the exact time. They may post the event listings. I know that my friend Pam she sounds like she's almost the master of ceremonies, because she's piecing together the whole schedule.
Do you know when the speakers start?
No, not yet. But I'm sure there'll be a number of things during the day. And but if you would like to look on the website, there's a confusion, because there's 2 websites with very similar names. And the one that I went on, I said, this isn't right. And then I realized it was part of an organization for peace that I think stemmed from the original UN International Peace Days. It was from 1988 or whenever it started. So for this event, it's www.intl for International Dayofpeace.org. And it lists everything that will be posted there.
Yeah. Perhaps you can have them send it out from they've got a meetup site, like you can post things and it'll send out.
Yeah,
emails.
can I do that?
And
Can I
also-
email it to you or something?
That would
like
be great.
Yeah.
That would be fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll pass it on to Barbara, and I'll pass
Uh-huh.
it on to Maggie or whoever is doing Raise.
Right.
I'll give you my card.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, that'll be
Because
wonderful.
I'm no connector. I don't know how to do any of this
Sure,
fancy
sure.
computer stuff, so thank you.
That'll be great.
Great.
Because go ahead.
Eva is a fancy computer person.
Since we are talking, I'm Gisela. I'm not a computer.
No.
Since we were talking today several times about this wellness blessing, permit me to read that. I have the words which people who participate in this repeat over and over. It is like almost meditative manner, so it becomes you over and over. We will not repeat that, but I will mention what is repeated most time, but it goes like that. I am existence, consciousness, abundance, and bliss. This they repeat probably 100 times, over and over. And they go through several repetitions of the following. My thoughts are not my thoughts. My mind is not my mind. This body is not my body. All things are happening automatically. There is thinking, but no thinker. There is seeing, but not seer. There is listening, but not listener. There is doing, but not doer. As a person, I do not exist. I am love, and the whole world is family. So when I got those words first, I said, well, for many, they are very radical. It is like the very first statements in the Course in Miracles that there is no meaning for this man, there is no meaning for this chair, there is no meaning, it just doesn't exist. And people say, for me it really is real. But when we really reach deeper, that we are really visiting here with a specific purpose. We are on a mission. We are players in this big theater, live theater. It makes more sense. You can identify with your role, and then they say, okay, you are a good player. Probably Hitler identified with his role deeply. He became one. Normally, those leave marks on the earth who are big and deep players, either in positive or negative way. You have to be passionate about this, what you are doing. But in fact, this is not you. There is a play, but there is no player somewhere else. We are not here. We are just playing. So it's funny because I go right now through the period of coming back to balance physically. And I say, well, this is not my body. So everybody is just pushing me, all my family, all my friends are just pushing me, do something, you have to be in balance. This is not my body. So I have to go and work on myself. So maybe we can come back to this discussion, but I'm gonna disappear. I'm gonna spend maybe 15 days all alone, with no phone, with no contact with people, and I will sit and I will meditate. I never did that. I always say to people, yeah, meditate, but I never do it in the way I should. So with all these things on the planet and on the earth right now, I wonder how I will feel that when I come into peace internally, that I will see that I reflect that there will be some changes. So wish me well and keep me in your thoughts, okay? Thank you.
Are you doing this
Where are you
in
doing
the
it?
country or your house?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to
Okay.
Middlebrook and just lock myself in, and nobody will enter.
And when will you be doing this?
I'm leaving on the 17th for at least 10 days, and I will be there just nothing, with a little food, because I will not need much, and with all those vitamins.
Are you taking your dogs?
No dogs.
Oh, really?
I'm leaving my dogs with my husband.
You're leaving home with spiritual creatures?
Are you going to spend time outside?
Of course.
Oh, lots. Because Middlebrook is her land, the 34 acres, right?
Yeah. I don't know how what will happen, but definitely I'm just curious. I will have a schedule, let's say waking up at 7 o'clock, from 7 to 9, meditating, maybe at 9, cup of coffee or something, I can fit it out. And then we'll go again, go outdoors. We'll take my pills, so don't worry, I will take this, okay, not from you.
Okay. Before before we close, can we just do a rolling om?
Yeah.
A rolling om? But just come in and I'd like to hold hands. And again, we'll do this for the sake of peace. And we didn't do this Sunday, but I had a sense that they said it was very important that we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Yes.
A rolling om to me is where one says om and another one just says
Yes,
om. And
whenever
another
you
one
are so
says
inspired,
om.
and just
Whenever you
keep
feel
rolling.
like
Everybody
saying
just
om.
ohms at their own
Right,
rate.
at their own pace.
Mhm.
So in other words, you do it at your own pace,
Mhm,
you do it
begin.
at your own sound, and so don't wait for everybody to
No, don't try to
inhale and
coordinate.
exhale,
No,
you know,
don't
and
try to
everything. So
coordinate.
you just do your own,
You keep going with it.
and you just keep
Yes.
going with it. Right. And then,
Until you pass out.
well, let's get the sense, and this is why I want us holding hands, let's get the sense of
Generates a lot
minimum
of
about
energy.
5 minutes,
Mhm.
you know, somewhere kind of to that, maybe like 9:30 mark, you know, and so kind of what feels like 5 minutes to you. But, okay,